Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Apparently they're doing this thing with this event thing I'm supposed to give you something cool, and I'm pretty glad I woke up for it while I'm making this video. I'm also talking with a girl. Sorry for that sound in the background because parents, mom and dad is watching a movie. I'm also talking to a girl because I'm trying to get a date. Ooh. Screen's glitching. We'll have it so people could hear. And I just don't want people playing any copyrighted music in the background. And I'm talking to a hot girl, and she asked my age, and I told her my age. I'm just hoping she's the right age. They had something going on with this. They said I don't think it's at the right time right now. I think it's gonna be late at night. I think it's just only gonna be. I think it's only just gonna be tonight. See, people already is in here, just waiting till that time comes. I thought you meant an actual store, stupid. The freaking item shop.
Right foot creep, ooh, walking with that heater. Look around. Right foot creep, ooh.
Here's the minus skin. I've been always wanting that, but it's actually a rare skin. And you all seen on chapter 2, I was only on mobile. I couldn't even get it on console. Like, I couldn't even get, I couldn't even play Fortnite on console. Because everything was way difficult back then. And if we concentrate in this thing, in this event thing, they will give us rewards, because they're starting that back up again. On this sim, I just don't want to miss it. So this girl's 20. Pretty happy. We're making some progress. I was sitting in I can't even say it right, guys. I keep saying signal. Single. Yeah, finally. Single. have a choice. I'm looking for a woman either lives in the same city as me or town or city with 12 extremely close that whole that like Tiger. If you guys don't live in Lethbridge, you probably know what Tiger is. Along like that. From Lethbridge to Tiger, if you're in the same state where I live. I'm only gonna look for a woman that lives pretty close to the city or lives in the city. Lives in the same city as me or close. It does sound like she does live pretty close. I think do like another pickaxe like this. I might, I could finally have the combo like this. Like my whole taste is number one because I feel how close I am to find my dreams, the woman of my life. That's how it actually happened, man. I didn't think I was gonna get far. Because of the skin I'm wearing. You've been seeing me wear this skin a lot. If you guys want, I can change your skin. I've kind of worn it over too much. I can start wearing this skin more. This skin from the crew. From the Croak, from the Glock 9000. Okay, so if you've seen a weird awful screen like I just showed. Guys, I don't just love a woman just for sex. I actually want a relationship for love. That's what I'm only in for. That's what I'm only in for. It's just for love. That's all I care for. That's what's more important to me is the love instead of the sex. A woman can give that to me if she wanted, but I'm not gonna judge her or force her. So you never force a woman, you just give the woman time. Ah, crap. And I just seen this weird funny glitch. What is this? I'm gonna go and take a look at it. I'm gonna take a picture with my Xbox, and so I could have it on schedule, guys. Oh yeah, sweet. Oh yeah, look. See, that's the stuff they're gonna have with it. You see it right there. Jump into logging logins. Wait. What you like? Wait, look like. Because that's what I look like. Does that look nice? Jump into. Make it so you hear any beeping sound. Loading now and tick top dows compet for a spot in the FNCs. I spelled that wrong. Glottal competitive final 10 in at last for 15 minutes to wrinkle the in-game finish banning banner top. I already have the game selected, you sexist. Doesn't say, it just says be in the game for 15 minutes. See if I can get this. Sweet. I just know you're gonna be pretty beautiful. I just know you're going to be pretty beautiful. Damn it. Didn't have enough. I have enough for this whole bundle. Which I also have this V-Bucks challenges. Complete daily bonus goals. Boner goals. Person had a horrible mic. Holy shit. Hello. Oh, sorry. I wasn't on. I just got on. I'm just trying to get myself another girlfriend. Did I annoy you? Yeah, there's this new thing supposed to coming out. I'm supposed to, I'm supposed to play this game and these rewards will come, and it said give me 50. Maybe, maybe you can read on it. Maybe you can read it. And I don't know. You can. You can 1v1, you can do everything. You know? How do you do them? Maybe you can help me with those. These ones not yet. I'm trying to figure them out. So you just made some kills and you got it? those cheeks. Maybe you can help me with these. It's gonna be hard to, cause you already are pretty good. You would have gotten them pretty easy. Are you in the game?
What?
Are you in the game?
No, I'm just listening.
Uh, I'm gonna come to the lobby so we can try this together.
What?
I'm going into the lobby so we can do this together.
Oh.
Should I try this challenges on public or private?
Oh, what are we gonna play?
This mode. I'm gonna try to earn those rewards. I felt like I was wearing that one skin too much during all my
Wait,
most of my streams, and
Wait, this skin?
the kid
That I'm
something,
wearing or your skin?
the one I wore when we first played together. Kid something, I think his name is. Kid Moroi. I can't even say his name right. Uh, it's that skin I wore when we first met.
I have $1 billion in my bank account. Wait, what is this game?
It's that game you said you got the rewards from. Wait, the quest in this one?
Wait, I played this. Wait,
This-
what is with the guns and 1v1 people? Hold on, wait. The game died.
It's in. You have to wait till these things. Okay, I'm already in a 1v1. sure we can.
Maybe party later I can pick them.
Okay. Fuck, died.
Are you seriously gonna kick me now?
Maybe party later.
Okay. What skin are you?
I'm the black skin. Are you what?
Oh, sweet.
THR. THR.
Promote.
Do you not want to be friends anymore?
You're the one that's asking the question.
Okay. I promoted
I'm
you.
asking you, but I don't know if you want
No,
to be
say
friends.
your last
Nice.
words. Whatever you will say.
Bye.
Okay. That's how you want to say? Don't care if you leave. Bitch ass motherfucker. He's the one that's turned into a bitch.
You wanna help me with 1v1?
I'm scared.
We're gonna take teams. I already
Hurry up and win this.
already made one kill on this already. It's not like they did. I don't know. Maybe they call him Deep Throat Hunter.
I'm so scared. Oh yeah, I'm pretty good. Wait! No! Oh! This way.
Yeah, I'm sticking right with
Oh,
you.
where they're coming from. See you. Move.
Come and get us, you piss ants. Oh,
Ow.
what was that? What was
Okay,
that?
sorry for going over there. Ow! Let's go keep on.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait, I killed the other guy. I got 2 kills. I got 20 coins. Let's go.
Hell
Let's
yes.
go back on the team. Server 1. Go on server 2. Let's go.
You actually crapped on them all. You pulled your pants down and pooped on them.
Come on, who's 1v1? Come on, everybody. Oh, shoot. No, match starts in what? Oh, no. Somebody can 1v1 us.
Maybe
Let's
go.
over here.
Maybe go in game chat and ask them.
No, don't.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna green player. No!
Actually,
What do you
THR.
want?
I do have something to say.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry for everything you did.
Okay.
Oh, shit!
So,
I'm
do
trying
you
to protect
forgive me?
my teammate. I'm
I
trying
hear
to
you.
protect my teammate.
I hear you.
My teammate already low, like, no, I'm dead, definitely. Go! Knocked one?
So, THR, do you accept my, do you forgive me?
I do.
No, he's talking to me. Yes.
Okay. So, it means you still want to be friends, right?
Let's go back down there to fight. Wait, where's the other party at?
This one.
Where's the fighting at? Oh. Wait, where you at?
I'm right here.
Come to me, you go fight right here. I go in number 2, you go in number 1.
They probably are. Yep. Oh, frick. Oh, shoot. He got me. It's all up to you. I'm right here. Okay.
My bad.
I thought I'd just promote you to party leader. Oh. Oh, frick. Someone took that on you, I see. Frick. On team 2.
Who my teammate? A random person. No, you're going against me. Oh my!
The heck out of Nosh, and they just kept breaking down any high cover they built. But I mean, this is exactly what I wanted to see.
Oh, get down!
Every single end game, I just feel like they didn't.
Oh, the things on now. They're
Actually, they already had 4
The 122?
elimination, and of course, closing that game right there with
the
that is
you know that big
exactly
TV thing where they talk about the cup.
All of that high ground
It's
control,
actually on.
and it was the low ground that actually ended up dominating here. And Iamzo and Rise, very similar storyline to what we've been seeing from them throughout these Elite Cup weekly finals. They have just been completely destroying everyone that tries to challenge them on these low ground sections. They kind of snuck underneath. There was a brief instance where I believe Flix almost had the opportunity to try and challenge him with Donnie. Unfortunately, that duo just got a little bit too
Okay,
split.
I might play this for a little while.
Continue to maneuver throughout this low ground area, building out to make sure that they had a little empire on the ground.
That thing's on now, so that means I could earn those rewards.
from Yamza and Rise that they love to go to the front side of the round of zone, but they don't do it until like the later noon. One of the plays that is that they actually had that low ground.
You just download an app
To actually find a refresh.
and
So
it will say put something in and you just get on
Some of these duo have
things for
already
free.
adapted, right, to everything that Chapter 4 has to offer. Here we go. Take a look at the standings from just game number 1. Of course, Iamza Rise, massive victory royale there, leading the pack with 109 points now. Remember, this is just game 1. We have another 5 games here in week number 1, but still a kind of an awesome showing.
You want me to tell you the app?
Pretty action-packed top 4 as well. I mean, 11 elims, 9 elims, 9 elims, 10 elims. It's kind of fantastic to see that we are getting exactly what we asked for. And we're telling these players that, hey, it's going to be aggressive for a match. How chaotic the breakthroughs have been.
Playing some Fortnite. Playing some Fortnite. Okay. And love to meet you.
Let me tell you the app.
Okay.
You can get all the things for free.
Okay. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Okay. What's the app's called?
They took the immediate contest off spawn, they win it out, and from that moment on, they were able to establish positional advantages, and even
It's hard to get those plays. You have to play that for
sure will.
Choco cameras, man, just making the roster so insanely dynamic.
Would you
You
do
just
that?
never know when
I will.
can show up.
For
Not
9 hours?
kind of like expecting it.
I will.
It's easier to combat. Like a lot of these plays we just saw was like chaos, right? They just show up. Where even my box?
So
What's
what's
going on?
TV
Where's my
for 9
wall?
hours
From
then
like a player perspective, of course you
before?
have to always be on your toes and
Maybe hoping to see anything. Shoes or even change them depending on where they're at in the leaderboard. This is a marathon. This is not a race. You gotta stay consistent through those games because don't fret, you might make the leaderboard over 100 points. Yamso and Rise is not out of reach.
Yeah, look, we might end up sounding very repetitive today because once again, the players have the up there already to hold their POIs. And just like the start of every single position.
For the second one is 35 hours. Would you do that one?
We sure can.
Huh?
So what kind of win?
What?
What kind of win you're talking about? What kind of win are you talking about?
So now all up to M10 and as good of a player as he is, he will not have the facilities to handle it.
And Narcisse, somebody's trying to take over. Rise Yamso, not having that same sort of luck this time around. I told you. Gameplay through and through, but it's a 1v1. Rise can go ahead and heal up. Ray's not getting into the action just yet. He's trying to go ahead and play for the revive on Taboo. This is going to be an interesting tactic, but if it pays off, Levin, it could pay off today.
Is Rage looking to be able to hold on and get the revive? It looks like it. Just a couple of
Are you gonna stay in here forever?
Yeah.
game one winners. Yonzo and Rise, one of the best duos so far this season. They have fallen.
Are you gonna play it every single day?
Oh, I'm just talking to a girl.
What?
I'm just talking to a girl.
Do you like her?
Yeah, just getting myself a girlfriend. I'm actually super close, actually. I just asked if she wants to be my. I just asked her if she wants to be my girlfriend, and I'm gonna see what she says next. This girl on, I think it's Snapchat.
Right back into the swing of things. Another fight here. And it's North Tate and Jeff who we looking to win this one.
We can already see how many builds they're expending rather quickly. Trying to go out. He's a static launch pad. Cone over the head. Denied. Access no more. And he finally goes down altogether. The huge elimination being picked up, just like on one side and the other. Everybody basically heard the elimination.
There was a team from afar taking shots. They almost he's not a happy man right now. Because Degen is down, and he does not want that. Tahi causing issues, and so he wants revenge.
You can already see them adapting on the fly. Dev and Tahi going down.
That's just
Storm
kinda
Surge in
pretty
that
cool.
last game. They know they need the damage very, very early on. They already got the E-Lip onto Degen. But shot by Mud.
And I think the thing with Pamsu and Thatcher, we saw there in the top right, they've been playing together longer than any duo in this lobby, right? And if you're Pamsu in that last game, you're watching Thatcher, you trust him to get the job done, to deliver something special. And that's such a key element, right? So many of the duos in this lobby are competing with each other for the first competitive season, right? You know, sort of getting used to each other still maybe. But these guys, they know each other well at the back of their hands. And that goes a long way at the top level. For Dubs though, an except. In Sector 1, they were super impressive. So we'll see whether they can match that energy now. Certainly doing a good job so far in this fight. Thatch now is hoping and wishing that he can survive this one. Those two just applying copious amounts of pressure and taking Pamsu out along the way. Nicely executed.
That had to be hard, though. That had to be very hard. Encrypted and Dougie on one side. And he got Chimp and Spade on the other. And usually we're talking about third parties, but guess what? They sent out 2 extra invites. You got a 4th party as well. And immediately as soon as that
How
one's
long
done,
do you
Dubs
wanna
and
wait?
XF are like, I don't want to be in this situation anymore. I have to be able to get out. I have to rotate. And because they knew who exactly landed at their POI, they knew they got taken out, they know exactly which direction they begin to rotate right back into.
Seeing the red eye being put to good use here.
Okay. How long should we wait?
Big possible opportunity to click from Donnie as well. Otis on the high ground, just melting away Clix' shield, backing him down, but backing him down right back into Donnie. No harm, no foul, as long as they can kind of regenerate the shield and HP that was just lost.
Vic falling asleep there for a second. Punished for it. Don't like to see that from the big click. Does have the shield so to get himself just a bit back up. But again, when you are so central in the match, it can be so hard for you to take these kind of fights because there are so many players all around you. 360 degrees you have to worry about. It is very, very difficult.
It's just one of those annoyance. It's like a fly out of a picnic
Exactly.
when you're trying to go ahead and take your battle, get your shots, and then it's just 4th, 5th, 6th parties just go ahead and trying to lend a helping hand.
Because most of the time they're never, going to get the elim per se, but that extra 50 HP that they chunk off from like 300 meters, it goes a long way in these fights, right? So perfect
What's
input,
this?
right, in terms of just being that annoying fly that you can't seem to get rid of.
Especially at my
I'm gonna see if I can figure this out actually.
I like food. Walker's, he likes high ground. He likes storm surge damage. And that's exactly what he's going to do over towards Anvil Score. We got to be careful, though, because all the initial teams that did rotate there are already rotating out. They're trying to get themselves a better spot in zone, so they're just hoping that other teams that landed towards the outside
Maybe it's
are
an
gonna use
app.
that as a rotational path to try to get in the zone.
Yeah, it's an interesting game here. Champa, you saw how their game came to an end. It wasn't the most ideal. They didn't have the best of positions and trying to move into that 5th zone. Had a max 4th, and so they'll probably feel like they got a bit unlucky. But nevertheless, can't rely on zone luck in these kind of games. TK relying that there's nobody else in the zone anywhere near so that he can pick Pledge up. Mega and Justice going to be looking to refarm with this building. The materials aren't ideal, right? And that's one of the problems in terms of, being in some of these central POIs. This biome in general, this season on the map, isn't the best for metal, right? And so you'll see a lot of teams with low counts like this having to get creative in terms of where they go to get their metal.
All those stoves on the inside. Everything's getting scavenged for.
And it's even harder when you are in one of those contested spots like faulty splits to where, yeah,
Wait,
you're
it's
getting
I think it's
chance at
Twitter.
such good loot, and that is a
Twitter.
little bit of a trade-off, but you risk not being able to farm, not being able to mat up, on top of the lack of actual resources that are gatherable in that POI. You see where the next zone is going to pull a little bit more towards the center, which you can already see Slappy Shores, that right and eastern side of the map, that's where it is going to be a bit slower.
Yeah, for sure. For Joji and Rokain, you can see their setup isn't too bad. They'll have the chance to sort of take those sort of shots from a distance like we were discussing.
So you're already with someone? So you're already with someone. Damn it.
Levendale taking absolutely no risks whatsoever. They're building a huge tunnel at their drop spot faulty splits, giving them so much real estate to get Storm Surge tags. Of course, this also enables them to put some heals safe and collect all of the heals up at the top, so that then, of course, they can use those when they're going for tags and potentially getting hit. Beautiful stuff from this duo. Let's see them pop off again.
I think that's one of the interesting things to follow, right? The strategies players are using, the small little techniques and tricks that go into making sure you can stay above the surge threshold. Of course, shields go a long way in that, right, Jacob? Because, you know, if you need to deal damage, there's often a good chance you're going to take some damage. And so when you got that extra bit of shields in the reserve, it just allows you to be a bit more zealous in your attempts to be aggressive and take fights.
And I get that feeling of deja vu because last time I've really seen a strategy like that pay off. And yeah, it's used. It's a very common strategy. Gather all the heals. That way you can trade shots. But the last time it really, really paid off, Seti and Cammy, EU, FNCS Invitational. Throughout 2 days, they got 4 victory royales. And so you got to imagine, at least the blueprint here for Kanata and Aegis has already been laid, knowing exactly what to do, trading those shots. And oh my God, 3 straight tags. Shield just ripped right off.
This guy is unreal. You can expect to see him hit shots like that over and over again. That's what the red eye is for, and that's why you'll see a lot of these teams pick it up, just because it allows you to hit shots like that. You're not likely to hit shots like that with an assault rifle, just a regular one. The red eye, though, the extra bit of precision you get, being able to aim down sights is huge.
Warrior and ABN, 221 above the damage threshold. They got static rotation next to them, so even though they're not in the zone, they are close by, and they have plenty of options to work with. TK and Pledge, I'm actually really interested in their story for this game. Pledge was taken out early, gone. TK used a lot of time, taking a lot of damage in the storm just to get Pledge back into this one and give him a second chance at life.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to have to be, you know, a story of uphill battle, because they are down when it comes to everything. In terms of surge, they're barely above. The materials are horrific at this stage in the game. Absolutely no metal for Pledge, barely any brick. It is not setting up to be the best of games for a duo who has been rather. So don't let this moment here, you know, be your only judgment of them as a team. They do have more to show, but this game is never over, right? Always turn things around.
Quick stat, Peter Bot and Booga are the only previous FNCS champs competing together today in NAE, and just goes to show that even though during, you know, regular cups, the off season and things like that, Booga's not necessarily there. He really rises to the occasion when these big major FNCS is rolling around. That goes to show that nerves are just not a thing for him. They're just not in his body at all, not in his anatomy.
There's a reason many consider him the greatest of all time, right? He's done it in the big stages and he'll continue to do so. Of course, though, this is a big stage and a stage that you'll have to perform on if you want to gain the respect of your region, and these kind of fights are the ones you have to win if you want to make your way there.
Proxy and Tetro, they were going for it, 153 below the damage threshold, but he peaks, takes a huge shot back from Chimp and Spade, and they're ready for it now. And as soon as they hear those shields crack, they know Storm Surge is active, and this is their chance. They can either get aggressive, try to take control of the situation, or they can play passive, knowing these guys are taking damage no matter what they do in this situation.
Yeah, they are just holding their cool. You can see how they're just sitting on the right-hand peak, sitting on that angle. They're waiting for them to make a move. They'll be ready for it. And you see, shotguns already hitting big shots as well. Chimpy is excited. You can see it in his eyes. He's hungry, and he'll hit the shot as well. Big stuff. No.
Okay.
So many teams rotating past them. And they will do themselves a world of good by picking up this knock, and that's exactly what they will do. Ignat goes down. And that makes their rotation a bit easier in terms of now they are sort of not the prey, they're the predators, they're the ones on the hunt, on the ones on the push.
And they read the play right now. A south pull, they're on the farthest north side. They know very few teams are going to be able to contest this right now, especially since they're fighting backside into the zone. Illis lands that final shot, getting the elimination, the refresh. And now on to the rest of the journey. They continue, but they still got so many other teams. I said it was a south pull coming from the north. This is going to be a minefield.
Yeah, and look, Donnie and Clicks. All of a sudden, again, we talk about quick turnarounds in games and how quickly things can change. Donnie's down. TK wants to get revenge for Clicks picking up Pledge, and that's exactly what he did. Oh my goodness, he made that look mad easy.
These teams, I mean, TK was actually fine through and through. His Pledge, we didn't really have much to work with. We saw Clicks and Donnie moments before this. They didn't have much to work with. And we could actually see exactly how TK made that come to fruition.
teams maybe even qualified straight to the finals, right? And so you didn't have a chance to sort of come back into this session and fight again. All of these players will have that opportunity when it comes to next week. So you want to set the seeds and then allow them to grow throughout the rest of the qualifying week. Costa though, they'll be wanting to have a better game. But it's not going to be easy when they're down on Surge. They're forced to take a fight and aren't working with much by way of HP. Literally no shields remaining. They just have to hit some big shots and quickly. But with the separation being created, I can't lie, Jacob, it is not looking good.
Yeah.
I do not see these guys staying alive for much longer.
Nah, it's very scary to think, too, that they were hitting a couple of shots, but it's still not enough. Storm Surge hits right back and takes them out, back to the lobby. And you got to go ahead and revamp your gameplay. That's something that you have to do game after game. You can't think that the same thing's going to work every single time. Unless you're maybe Peter Button Booga, to where you have your game plan that solid, that tight, to where you can go ahead and continue doing what you do best.
Yeah, look, they were looking at big raids there, right? So you got to put some respect on his name.
Sure.
Obviously,
Yamza
one of the
and
players that took out Yamza and Rise earlier in the game. So definitely not no one you want to mess with, but he is looking like a solo at least, so not going to be in his strongest of positions. Canada and Aegis though, we obviously saw how they were setting up for Surge. Aegis now being picked back up. So hopefully now they'll be able to get redemption, because I'm sure they will feel like they should have been getting first place in game one. Reduced down to third though by Thatch himself. Bert though, struggling. He gets knocked. So it's all on Walkers.
Yeah, Walker's knows he saw it through the cone. He has to be able to get out. Wall's going to get taken, though. Walker's getting backed up. He now has to change layer. Go up, go over. Vert, it's a non-factor. Can't be the hero. Trying to wait for that perfect moment to edit the floor. Script is there along with John to try to shoot back. Not letting that surprise attack be successful, and they immediately just pick him up, take him back into the boxes. Let's get this loot, that slow and steady gameplay, not getting greedy. That is the recipe for success.
That is brilliant from Suspect and John. I'm sure they will still look to try and see if they can pick up walkers, but just having the discipline there to not get overexcited. Make sure you grab the body, secure the loot, and then we reconvene and see what the best play is. Too many times I see inexperienced players just get ahead of themselves in those kind of situations. Oh, we got 2v1, let's go in. No, staying calm, and now making their way over to the zone. Gonna split this rotation up into two, use the hammer for one movement, and then the second, and that should be enough to get them into the zone.
Again, Peterbot just lagging back. They know they got one of the shortest runs of the lobby. Zone's gonna be moving slowest here on this right side, wasting no time, getting right into the zone, finding themselves a great spot. And Vivid talked about it. If any of these teams do have forecast, you activate it in this zone, you'll see zone 6, 7, and 8. You'll be able to rotate and use that shockwave hammer to try to steal away the front side of zone.
What I like about this visual is that we have Threats and Mapwood, and if you don't know anything about these two, you can very much expect to see them in these kind of positions all major long. They love to play high, and they are very good at it as well. Macwood has been doing that in competitive for a very long time, since the beginning of competitive in NA East. And he'll continue to do it to this day, and the Threats by his side, sorry. They are a formidable duo for sure.
Just looking out there, I'm like, Encrypted, what are you doing, my man? I know we're gonna find out sooner rather than later if that plan is gonna work. You see him splash? I think it could. No, well, never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
We'll go back and kind of figure out what he was doing later, maybe after the show, something like that. Because right now, John and Susscript, they're brewing up a plan along with Peterbot and Booga. Talked about it, their front side of the zone yet again. They have a little bit of a layer, but you know, they're going to probably shockwave. They're going to build up the ramp just like Macwood is doing, but instead, they're going to try to shockwave to the front side of the zone.
Yeah, that's going to be very secure with all that metal they built there. Walker, so still moving as a solo. Obviously saw Vert getting taken out, but he's not giving up in this game. 22 below, hitting a shot there. That will go a long way, puts him 42 above. So you can breathe, but just for a moment, still need to get back on the offensive statics, though. They're looking for a box fight situation. They know they need to fight. They know they need to get a refresh. They know they need to get above surge. And the opportunities are certainly around them, and they just have to be a bit quicker. No, getting hammered out of the way. And now trying to hammer back towards each other. Susscript, though, he's off pick John. And so he's now going to be playing as a solo. Does have to hammer, though.
Big mini being used right there. Trying to get himself right back up. Macwood and Threats, I love this high ground take. They're getting it right on the layer. Scare and Slam is right below him. Have to be careful.
And all these duos who are sitting up higher, right, it's brilliant for them. Because the zone's pulling across a glacier, and it means it's going to be a very steep cliff. They can suffocate these duos beneath them. It's going to be a very, very good time. Joji and Rokane are going to be scouting things out, though, figuring out where they can move to. And once they have figured it out, they decide they want to move towards that front side. Zone pulling away now. And that'll give a chance for all those teams lower down, just to get a bit of breathing room, just to get a bit of space. Illisto on the offensive.
Yeah, without slacks, he knows it's all on to him to pick up as many points as possible. He knows it's 4 more games after this one. All those points can add up to a great total as Macwood and Threats still holding on to that high ground, tarping out. They're getting ready to put that pressure down as Walkers. We talked about him being a solo. He's able to get into the zone. Pretty healthy at that, but he doesn't have any builds. Anything is better than nothing here as Ellis goes in. Huge refresh going to be captured on the gold duck, but pressure from the high ground, but he has plenty of heals to work with.
Scuffed solo in the backside, just having to rely on his shotgun. Susscript, though, in a similar situation, but not in the backside of the zone, just lurking, waiting for an opportunity, waiting for someone to walk into his sight, but doesn't look like anyone's going to be there. Illisto still in the thick of things.
Rapid's gonna go down. Walker, Fred, everybody's getting taken down left and right. Illis, all he needs is that little bit of HP and shield. He's trying to outlast everybody, just along with Susscript, who finally gets spotted out. Tagged up, got dropped down to the low ground and sent back to the lobby. Rokane is gonna get the credit for that one. Trying to go in, doesn't get very many resources for his efforts though.
But the zone pulls back, and that's gonna be brilliant for him. It just gives him that time he needs just to get himself back up. Up on height though, things are changing all over the place. What happened to Macwood and Threats? We were singing their praises. They were up on height, everything was looking good. And now they're looking scuffed. Now it's down bad. Macwood, no mats and no HP. He will fall. ABN and Skittles up above looking great.
have the control of the high ground. Plenty of builds there to connect themselves to, so the danger of not falling is not going to be there. Kanata under siege. He goes down. Him and Agers did everything they could to continue that consistency, just like Jamper and Paper. 5 eliminations so far. Making it to the end game, all they need is a chance.
Yeah, it's now kicking off for all of these teams. Rokane still trying to stay alive here, running low on mats, very low on HP. Can he hit a big shot? That's going to be the question he has to answer. Peterbot and Bugha, though, they're looking primed and ready to deal with any of these players who just fall down, walk into their sights. Free loot for them, it seems.
Yep, front side of zone. Plenty of builds in terms of endgame here to work with to try to stay ahead of everybody else, except cannot say the same. 2 builds, but 2 splashes in the shockwave. He can try to make something happen along with Paper here. 2 different shockwave handlers he needs to work with. Plenty of resources. It comes rain and mass, but bounce to the outside. Goes right back in like a game of ping pong, trying to land the shot, but he gets just enough to get inside zone.
Paper hitting just the shot he needed. ABN taking out Bugha. Will he take down Peterbot? It doesn't look like it. Peterbot will get his revenge. And now players are falling from all left, right, and center. But it's going to be a bigger limb for Paper. He keeps on hitting these big shots. I don't know how he does it. And now all of a sudden, a solo who had no business really having a big stake in this game looks like he could win the whole thing.
Paper beats Rock, and he's hoping everybody down low. It's just a bunch of rocks. The Scare's trying to go up and over. Paper gets knocked down. Scare doing what he can, but all this damage from the zone. He needs to be able to pop the Medmist. Doesn't get it in time. He goes down. Peterbot making magic happen. 5 eliminations. He has the Medmist as well. This is a 1v1v1 for the game. Peterbot goes up and over. Gets another elimination onto Quanti. 1v1 situation. This is it. This is everything for the game. He has high ground. He's in the zone. Except trying to shockwave off. He gets denied entry. Peterbot with 7 eliminations by himself takes the game.
Staying cool, calm, and collected. When Bugha went down, he didn't shake, he didn't worry. He held down the fort, and he wins the game. So many solos left in that one, but he was the one that came out victorious. They were looking strong throughout this game, and when Bugha fell, it was looking all bad. But when you have Peterbot on your team, one of the best players in the world, when it comes to just being a cool, cold-blooded solo player, and he shows exactly why. Wow.
I can just imagine Peterbot standing there right now, eyes closed. Imagine like he's in the Roman Coliseum, telling everybody who just watched that, are you not entertained? Look at him just take over. Except he didn't really have a chance at this point.
Yeah, it was really over from that moment when you saw him building up. You knew it was going to be a problem. Wow, Peterbot and Bugha, a duo that everybody who watches NA knows are them guys. They you know, right?
He's him.
But when they show it in these games, it really does get you excited for the FNCS. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, there was a lot of madness. We know Peterbot and Bugha took that victory royale, but the leaderboard has shaken up so much. We need 3 of the best analysts to break it down and let us know where we're at after game 2.
Thank you guys so much. My goodness. I mean, this is why Bugha picked up Peterbot, right? I mean,
The application coming in handy.
there it is. I mean, Peterbot, just an insane solo individual, man. I'm sure Bugha was like, oh, it's just you. It's fine. You got it. Go ahead and win the game.
I mentioned it, right? Like the trust that is existing right now between this duo, it's insane. And I can tell you right now, Bugha was just sitting there and he was watching Peterbot go for it. He was like, yeah, he's got this 100%. I mean, Peterbot was looking clean in this endgame.
The moment that you see that it is a full-on individuals battle royale to the finish, you kind of have to root for Peterbot in that instance. And more importantly, even if you go all the way back to the very start of this game, you have to keep in mind, Peterbot and Bugha actually did go for the contest this time.
Yeah.
Last time we saw them actually rotating out of North Slappy for game 1, but for game 2, they took the challenge, they took out Cooper and Sleek early on, and, well, worked out for them.
That's right. Here are our standings as they are after game number 2. Agers and Kanata have now moved up. And look at this. 3rd place, Peterbot and Bugha up 17 places off a single game. So literally no one is safe right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been game 2. Digging then, of course, Jamper and Paper as well, going up 17 spots. And then Except and Dubs as well, jumping up 22 places. So big game for a lot of teams here, but it's great to see Jamper and Paper getting into this end game and showing us why they are so good.
Ever since they established their boot camp, I think that the synergy has really started to develop between these 2 players. And Paper, for example, the fact that he was still able to collect 1, 2 more elims just to try and secure a few more spots on the jump off. I mean, 17 placements being held up in the leaderboards, that is definitely endgame instances.
There's a lot.
I feel like the big takeaway for me is just like high ground just ain't it anymore. Like, yeah, it might get you to those final moments that you need to in the game, but there's just too much happening that like, is low ground just gonna win? This is the new thing, right?
I really just feel like it's just like ping pong match, like Jacob mentioned. Everybody's going up for high ground, but once.
Just the first two games. We have plenty more to go. So let's get ready, because that's right. Game number 3 is underway. Let's go.
Already there's so much excitement, Levin. After just 2 games, it feels like it's been plenty more, especially with the way Peterbot handled the pressure of that end game.
Hey, look, that's what he does, right? For the best players, it's easy, right? You know, these big moments, they're nothing, right? It's an everyday in the park for a player like Peterbot, but who can rise to that level? There are plenty more. We saw some upsets. We saw big, drastic changes in the standings. There's going to be plenty more of that. But if you are some of the teams who've maybe been struggling off spawn, right? Acorn, can you come back? Can you change that now that we're here in game 3?
Yeah, and it makes me wonder, do you change up the whole landing spot? Do you change up how you're playing your specific play style? Because right now, I don't think anybody coming into today after 2 games would have ever expected what they're seeing out of Acorn and Cold. But I'm a believer. I'm a believer in Acorn. I've seen what Cold can do with the biggest pressure of them on. It's only a matter of time. And with game 3 starting now,
let's jump in. Let's jump right on in. Too many times today, we've seen the feed go in a direction you wouldn't quite expect. And props to the players who are upsetting the big names in their off-spawn fights. But at a certain point, you got to think things will change. But who knows? This Fortnite, you never know what you're going to get when you drop into a map.
I mean, I'm hoping for it. I'm hoping for a little bit of a switch up. Maybe some of these newcomers rising to the occasion. We've got a huge switch up of the bus path, which is going to allow us to see Dubs and Accept already going at it. Pam's going to go down. Fats trying to be the hero and go straight up, and Dubs takes him straight right back on out. 2v1. And Yamzo goes down again. It's all up to Rise. And they fall. 2 straight games right out of the gate. Yamzo and Rise are going to be looking to really change things around.
I don't know how that's happened. Rise and Yomzo go from winning the first game to just absolutely losing everything, it seems, in these first 2 games. I can't believe it. That is heartbreaking for they have to come up big, but it's not looking easy at all. You've got to wonder what it is that's going wrong for them, and whether or not they'll be able to recover mentally, because this is not easy by any means. And you have sort of a bad start to a day like this. And I mean, props to Coop and Hide and Seek, because as much as everybody will sit there and go, oh my goodness, how come Akon and Cold not doing as well as we thought? You got to big these guys up, because they have made this upset happen. It looks like they're going to continue to do so as well. Got to be careful though. Don't want to give Akon a 1v1 situation, because he does win those, but nevertheless, another game in their favor. Who would have thought?
It's almost like all or nothing in the next couple of games coming out from them. Their playstyle now has been dictated by the situation that they're in. They have to start picking up eliminations from here on out as Pyla and NPen. They're no strangers with eliminations. Pyla already has one. Trying to take the piece control, but goes around instead. Takes down Fred. Huge siphon and refresh. He sees NPen in a fight. He gets taken down. Gutterleaf versus Bylaw here.
This is not good. A 1v1 situation now here at the Breakwater Bay. I'll be honest with you, Jacob. As somebody who has loved my time playing this season, is Breakwater Bay a POI I think is worth 3 teams fighting for? I will be very honest. I do not think so.
I'm glad you think so. Same thing. Because I was thinking no, but I trust your judgment.
It's one of those situations that, look, Breakwater Bay, it's not got the best metal, it's not got the most materials of any POI by any means. It's not got the most actual loot of any of the POIs. Again, like you said, it's one of those sort of outskirt POIs. Look, I don't get it, but clearly the players feel like it's something worth fighting for. And I think when you look at their positions in the standings, they don't reflect well on the POI. Nevertheless, somebody has to win this fight. I'm sure Byla, after seeing his former teammate Peterbot going crazy last game, will be hoping he can match that level as well.
Have to be careful though. Aaron and Aves are slowly but surely sneaking up. They might not have gotten an invitation to the party, but they're still gonna crash it nonetheless. To get their own surge, only 10 points so far. This is again another team you wouldn't expect to be in this position.
You can see Edgy and Miro playing it very slowly, looking to try set up sort of a pinch, both of them attacking from different angles. And they will have to be patient with the opportunity. And it looks like Miro felt the opportunity was there. Takes a shot onto Aaron. Maybe he could have waited out just a bit longer, because they have now had time to sort of get their shields back up to a decent point. Of course, still not aware of Edgy's positioning, and so this is going to be huge for Edgy. Can he hit a big shot? Not too shabby. I'm sure he would have wanted more. Of course, not easy with that red eye from close range.
I Like this though, Edgy slowly but surely trying to back off, doing what he can because he doesn't want to get pushed by them too. He's separated from Miro. All it takes is a split second of separation for them to try to pounce, try to attack, and take advantage of the numbers game. But Edgy, he's been in this situation before. He has one of the biggest brains here in the stage. He knows exactly what to do. He's backing off, but there's another team slowly but surely sneaking in.
Is there something I'm missing here about Breakwater Bay? Why is everyone so attracted to this POI?
I don't know. It's like a vacation home down here or something where everybody kind of relaxed. The zone did pull over here. So you see the replay over towards Shatter Slabs. Jilix and Owl. That's going to be a huge shot on the DJ who falls again, leaving Muzz by himself.
I can't lie. You got put through the works there. I cannot lie. I was looking at some creative montage stuff right there. They're trying to get things going early on. Throughout the 2 days, they finished very high. I know watching one of their games during replays, I was trying to research as much as they can. They got a massive amount of eliminations and a victory royale in one of the last ones, and that's the type of momentum you like to carry in, the confidence you like to build going into the third and final session as Pledge is trying to break through, take control of these pieces, trying to catch somebody off guard. Finally gets to the box. Piece control is going over, edits the piece, takes down the player. 4 more points to their total. And a bunch of confidence really begin to build up. I love that from Pledge. Just as he peeks around that corner, placing the stare there, blocking off the angle, the extra precaution. It goes a long way, of course. And now, back to Breakwater Bay and all the amazing things happening at this POI. So many players here in the Storm now. But is there any real winner from this situation? Looks like Edgy is trying to leave. I don't think Trashy's going to let him get away with it too much. Aaron and Naves, of course, will feel like they can get in on this one as well. But teams now at least starting to make their way towards the safe zone. Still have a ways to go as it closes.
Trade-off right there. Aaron seeing it all go down in the distance, getting a knock on the pump. Edgy got down early on. Pump still down. Trashy can still try to go ahead and break out, get the res, but that other team knows that they're there. And now they have the choice, though. They can go ahead and try to continue the third party, make their lives that much harder, or they got the surge. They already got their elimination, so they can go ahead and focus on that rotation of zone. And it does look like a possible reboot card was picked up. Nero's trying to get out. Anything can happen here.
Yeah, for sure. Trashy, I'm sure would maybe think he can pick up his teammate and get things back on the road. Again, one of those really awkward. You do see situations like that where you have a bunch of different teams, a bunch of different parties, all sort of vying for the same thing, right? They want to deal damage because they know Storm Surge is going to be an issue later down the line, but it isn't that simple at times.
Nothing's really ever that simple here in Fortnite. And that's the thing, you can't get lost in the sauce, you can't tunnel vision. Kanata just takes a huge amount of damage from the side, but that's not too much to worry about. Agers wasting no time, going hip to hip. They know exactly what to do in these scenarios, how to hold the walls when somebody is under pressure, as Booga and Peterbot, they're immediately trying to go over.
Yeah, and of course, one of the bigger parts of this season has been the augments. Mini Miner, can you tell us, how are these players using augments to their benefit?
They're using them very effectively indeed. Now we have Gold Duck right here using the aerialist augment to speed up those mid-game rotations. We can see on the mini-map on the bottom right, they're not actually in the safe zone, but this aerialist augment just allows them to go through the zones a lot quicker. So expect to see this team in a good position.
Thank you, Mini Miners. Quick breakdown. Catching us up with some of the things we might have missed, might not have known. And I like that. I like the aerialist because if they're able to make it towards endgame, they can make daring acrobatic plays, taking high ground and immediately trying to give it up. They can bait players into unfavorable situations knowing they have an escape plan in their back pocket.
Peterbot back on our screens here. I'm a big fan of this duo, and I'll tell you why, Jacob. I feel like I've seen this before. And you might be thinking, what is this Levin guy waffling about? Please shut up, Levin. Like, what are you saying? This is the first season they're competing with each other. No, I'm not talking about NA. I'm talking about EU. Don't get mad at me. But this duo reminds me a lot of Tayson and Thomas HD way back in the day when they teamed up, where you have the person who on their region is considered a respective GOAT, Tayson, the parallel there being Booga. You have Peterbot, who the parallel being to Thomas HD, just the guy. You know when you have the guy, Peter
probably waiting, saying, hey, before I use my splashes, he's probably letting Agers take his shots. That way, if he gets tagged up, they're optimizing the actual splash usage. But you got to be careful if you get pushed. You only have 100 HP at that moment in time as Dubs and Accept trying to peek through, get themselves some elevation. They know there's so many teams on the outside of zone. Even though they're 200 above the damage threshold, there's always room for more surge.
Yeah, and there will be opportunities for them to get tags from where they're sitting at. Of course, Aegis and Canada still in the zone, trying to make their way in and just barely making it sort of under this natural ridge in the map. And it's going to give them the space and time that they need to get their heals back up. But to be honest, for a team that's been so impressive today, they look depleted, and this refresh would go a long, long way. If they can pick up claps, which is exactly what they'll do, it could be the key to keeping them in this game. It's definitely going to be worth to run into the storm to get his loot. But there are eyes on it, so Canada's going to have to use those builds, guarantee that he's not, you know, getting too greedy by any means.
Warrior and ABN, so much high ground. So it's very interesting to see that they're 59 below the damage threshold, trying to out-heal it, using a lot of their minis, trying to save the splashes to the last moment. Donnie's going to go down to fall. Clicks is out as well to Ducky. They probably got focused there just a little bit as Edgy and Miro. He got him back into the game. Second chance at life here. What can you do with that second opportunity?
Well, what they need to do with the second opportunity right now is head to zone. But they don't really have much by way of HP. The med missile get Edgy back up. We obviously saw how much they were struggling earlier. To get back into this game, I'm assuming it's going to have to be some sort of a big box fight, right? They're going to have to get on the offensive, catch a team out, and just hope that they can hit the jackpot, right?
Sounds easy.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, I was about to say, sounds easy, but you know as well as I do, everything is much harder in Fortnite. Like the mirror, everything is larger than it appears as Joji and Rokaine are the only team other than Kanata and Agers to place top 10 in the first 2 games. And that goes to show it's not all about the victory royales. Consistency beats out more times than not as Illis has the Peely's Plunder treasure map, but he's down 86 below the damage threshold. And this is where it goes to where he might not be able to pick and choose his battles here.
Yeah, the weird thing is that his teammate is actually behind these guys in terms of names and Aaron. His teammate's by the gas station. So even though he's alone, Slacks is just sort of behind that. Oh dear.
That's first place.
Okay,
That's
Agers
Agers
is down. Canada now has to make a big, big play. But even if he is able to survive here, this game's flipped on its head. Playing as a solo from this point on is going to be a very difficult task, even for a player of Canada's level. But Dubs and Accept, they've done the world of good in terms of trying to further their campaign in this tournament, taking out one of your top competitors.
And that was a miracle find because they didn't have that shockwave hammer moments ago. Now they're using it to get the zone. Kanata trying to be hot on their heels, getting tagged up from all over on the lobby. Dropped down to about 76 HP, trying to pause, find some stability where he picks what the next move is going to be because he's still outside of zone. He's still below the damage threshold. He's still following this duo. He's out for revenge here, but he's going to find that sweet spot right above him inside of zone and try to toy with it here. 118 below the damage threshold. He still knows in the back of his mind, I have to be proactive.
Out for revenge or looking for trouble, it's all about how you interpret it. The question is whether or not he will survive. He's used all of his metal now. Just has the one build left. And now when he's trading in these kind of situations, it doesn't look good. He's not going to be able to out-heal. They know that he's down bad, and so they'll just continue to spray up. It looks like it's going to be the end of the game for Canada here. That's the first place team, and so an opportunity for anybody in the lobby to catch up, and one of the teams who'll certainly be looking to do that is right here on our screens, Dubs and Accept. Saxon, Illis, they've gotten together. They've closed the distance, but no further in actually trying to beat out Aaron and Naves. They're the ones on the back foot, and Aaron and Naves knows it. Playing very patiently, but needs to stay together. Can't afford to get lost in the source.
Above the damage threshold, they know defensive is going to be the key here, especially since they know they already got the knock onto Illist. Slack's by himself, under siege, a little bit of HP. They're trying to break through. Slack's doing what he can, backing down little by little. You got to imagine, below the threshold, Slack's probably getting barely above, tries to peek, gets punished. Aaron and Naves get not one, but 2 of those eliminations.
They needed that, right? They were
bad.
Obviously up above Surge, but didn't really have any metal. Naves just picked up about 400 there, right? From a big elim for them for the rest of this game. John and Suscript here, they have a chance to really start to take up a lead on that leaderboard and gain a bunch of points, and some of their top competitors are down.
But this right here is the moment. I like what you're saying. They have a chance, the potential to take to the top side of the leaderboard, but they're 88 below the damage threshold. The next moves they make could decide the future of them very, very soon. As they continue to stout, playing patient. They know all these players around, peeking for surge, shooting the shots just like they are. They're waiting for somebody to slip up. And they're separated. That might be the move that they can make, as Rokane and Joji knows they're in a similar spot, 219 above. They can play exactly how they want because they know they're not forced to peek.
Yeah, this is going to be big. Joji, Rokane, they see something, and they actually are going to be able to profit off of it. And again, not getting too greedy. They need to be cautious. There's a lot going on. They, just like us, will hear all these shots, all these fights taking place. Maxo just below that. I think he'll be caught out eventually. So much is going on. This is very chaotic right now, Jacob.
They're doing a good job, though. Susrep and John, throughout all the chaos, surviving. Still 83 below the damage threshold, which isn't much, to be honest. A couple of well-placed shots with that red-eye assault rifle would definitely put them above. There goes 28, but they're still below, taking damage. They have to figure out what they're going to do to get the next 54. Peeking through the same hole. Storm Surge still taking them up, trying to out-heal. No more splashes on his Sudscript. Somebody... They got a crest on. They landed the perfect shot to put them above the threshold.
I like that from Suscript. Hitting a big shot just when they needed it. And needs to keep on doing that. The angle isn't too favorable for him, and so we'll take a chunk of his HP. But this is exactly what they want. An opportunity to keep them in this game, but the pressure from Vert and Walkers is relentless. It's causing them issues. And they also have to start planning their rotation, right? They aren't in the zone, they will have to get there. For teams who are maybe looking a bit better for that, Mirror and Edgy, they have to hammer. And so they know they can get to zone anytime they want, and the time is now. Gonna land towards Booga and Peter, but maybe even look to get in on them. Looking for that all-in play. I don't know if that's the duo you want to do it to, though.
It's not one I would want to take on, as Booga is able to take down Edgy, making them instantly regret that decision. And it was Booga of all people, not even letting Peterbot get in that one, as they do have 2 eliminations, 374 above the damage threshold. For them, it's business as usual.
Yeah, look, you're going to see all around the lobby players jumping into boxes, because they are very, very desperate. Walk into players falling left, right, and center of that, and Walkers who've done a good job of being the aggressors, the instigators so far this game. Now maybe running into some trouble themselves. They've got the eye of some of the lobby. Miro, who obviously just lost Edgy a second ago now, is going to have to try and plan out the rest of this game with what, just 12 builds? As great of a player as he is, he's going to need a lot more than that.
I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't a little bit worried about Nero, but at the same time, I'm waiting, because at a moment's notice, he is the type of player that can pop off. You see the zone, a stacked south side, but that is also the front side of zone. So anybody that's stacked towards the back side, they probably have to wait for everybody else to begin to rotate and then shockwave their way there.
And for Rokane and Joji, Rokane just scouting out, figuring out where exactly is safe for them to be able to use their hammer. They don't want to run into too much. You can see Vert and Walkers, though, they have the prime positioning to hold on for height here as they build on towards this hill. And for the teams in this lobby, if you want to have a good game, you want to be one of the first ones to get up on this hill. And so for Coop and Hide and Seek, they need to start planning their way and getting up. Dubs and Xcept are doing a brilliant job, though. This is where you want to be. You don't want to be the teams stuck down below, late to rotate upwards. Tight though of and Walker taking a shot along the way. But they're the holders of height, getting chopped out though, as you do so often this season. Just need to hold on though.
Yeah. they have the builds. They're getting challenged by Peterbot himself, Booga as well. They're doing just enough. Shockwave hammering to the front side of zone, and guess what? Height is still theirs. Rain and Boogas.
Booga and Peterbot, they weren't just happy with that first place in the previous game. They won another one. And so they'll look to try and play from height. We'll keep following that. Joji, though, we saw his journey as a solo, and it will sadly come to an end. Noxy and Okis waiting in the front side of the zone, looking back at all of these players, and are very, very comfortable. They now have to make a move, though. And as they look to make their move, they see to find themselves in the same position that they were capitalizing on others, stuck in the zone, stuck in the dirt, stuck in the ice, sent back to the lobby. Dubs the next step will pick up another. They see all that loot there, and they see another player. They're going to keep taking shots.
Brave move by Scare, but he had no other option trying to heal. Booga still holding on to that high ground. Peterbot going to the backside of zone, trying to cover and making sure that they're set, but they're only just on one layer, and that's why Peterbot's going to go forward, build ahead, get that height, and try to secure it for him and Booga. 6 teams left. This is definitely theirs for the taking.
And this zone has been so awkward for all of these players that are down below. Having to slip and slide across the ice, and sliding into the wrong box is going to cost you, and that's exactly the fate that Vert faced. Walking right into Dubs. He's got 6 already this game. He is on 1.
You said it yourself, Peterbot and Booga looking to go back to back, and he's not only going to take part in it, he's going to try to take it by force, dropping down just enough to try to get the extra resource. You see him building up to protect Booga, but Shockwave hammer right back on down. The challenge against Dubs. Peterbot is going to go ahead and try to solidify himself. The patience, this man can attack anything, but he knows when and where to do it.
We just saw him in this position a bit earlier, but this time he has Booga with him, so there's going to be even more confidence. Proof and hide and seek. We saw them making brilliant plays earlier, cerebral in their attempts, and doing the same here, down low on Max. And so in this final sort of zone, they do have to hit big shots if they want to do it. Peterbot is ready and waiting though, and so making sure to build up. Don't want to lose height, don't want to get too excited, because there are still some top teams in this. Dubs the next step. Coop now playing as a solo, and now all about hitting these crucial shots. Except will fall, Dubs will fall as well, it seems, as Booga and Peterbot are making him pay. Will they connect to the final shot? Having to drop down though for a second and use them chug splashes to heal, but you've got to think it's a matter of
Nosh.
He's
But
great.
we have 3 more games left to go here. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm kind of in love with the Shockwave Hammer. I said it.
We've seen a lot of plays around him. I mean, a lot of chaos going on, a lot of plays being made, and I can't wait to get like 3 more times of that.
You know, everybody's entitled to an opinion, Z. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Wow. Anyway, you know what? Camera, just come here. Yeah. Ignore Taco. Hey, guess what? Game number 4 is upon us, so we ain't gotta wait much longer. Let's get into it.
We are at the halfway point. 3 very, very entertaining games thus far, and 3 question marks to come, right? But what I can tell you about these question marks is that they will be very intense because so many of these teams now are looking very, very good going into the last 3.
Yeah, there's a lot of threes going around, and for Bugha and Peterbot, they're trying to make it that 3rd victory royale on the day. Dude, I don't have to imagine. I think they have the best chances to make it happen. They kind of tossed away a team right out of the gate. They're no longer being contested, and now they can pick and choose. Do I want a 3rd party that or not? But luckily for us, we don't have to wait long to find out. Game number 4 starts right now.
Game number 4. Who will it be? We've just witnessed 2 victory royales from Bugha and Peterbot. Will it be the 3rd for them? Will Acorn and Cold finally win off spawn at Slappy Shores? Who's gonna come out on top over here, right? At Lonely Labs, Macquid and Threats, one of the better height teams in this lobby, have a difficult task on their hands as they have to win out of spawn. Lonely Labs, one of them interesting POIs, a bit different to some of the other ones we have around the map. And a repeat may be here. With the Yomzo and Rise looking not too good off spawn.
He threw the number of 3 around. And this might be the 3rd time. They go down very, very early. Then he'll be able to pull it back, and Acorn doing it well on the other side of the map. But no, Rise gets denied again. Braids and Moo are just taking over this landing spot, calling it theirs, but Cold is down at the top of the factory. Hide and Seek is doing just that, trying to play hide and seek to stay alive. I do believe Acorn is going to be able to get the res.
Yeah, there's a sliver of hope finally for this duo. We might finally get the chance to watch Acorn and Cold play out a full game.
Can't break through the build. Acorn under Cedarbot strikes again.
Oh, look at how he's antagonizing him. He's already eliminated him, and he just keeps shooting the floor.
Just need to make
Sign
sure.
of disrespect.
You just need to make sure.
Just making sure.
Don't get up. Stop trying.
Oh, man.
This is our POI. Go somewhere else. And this is honestly the same exact start they've been having since game number 2 when they got that first victory royale. Because game number 1, they split it. They let him go on their merry way, and whatever happened, happened. Since then, they've been taking over as Nosh and trying to do that same thing over here towards Anvil Square. And it already looks like Clicks is down, so Donnie's by himself, but he does have plenty of builds to work with, plenty of resources. He just has to find some separation between the two.
Donnie has to go huge here. It's not out of the possibilities, but when Nosh is piecing like that, it's never going to be easy. Donnie looks like he's going to have to say bye-bye. Nosh and Nut making things awkward, making things tough. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. And to take the L just for the cherry on top, that is what you call clean.
That's what you call thinking inside of the box. As Thread's trying to capture the spot by himself at bat. Macwood is going to be the one going down. He's trying to get everything he can, except in dubs. 172 points. They are out. This is game 4. The next highest is about 78 points down, if my math is correct. That's a big if, though.
I'll be real. I don't think your maths is correct. But the point still stands. Because when the second place team is down like that, it is going to leave a gap, a window for all those players just beneath to waltz on through and get themselves involved. But Trashy, he doesn't have pump. He is going to look to select an augment.
Oh. I saw in the feed. I saw two things in the feed. Brett's as a solo's making magic happen, and somehow Peterbot is down. Fredbot and Gutterleaf holding the low ground. Trashy's by himself. You know Pump is out. And I like this move by Trashy. He played around with it like he had the high ground. Immediately left, and there it goes. Hide and seek. Peeks at the right time. He takes out Booga as well. First place is out. Second place is out. If you wanted a miracle, you were granted it just now.
The top two teams in the lobby have just given a wide open window for anybody to waltz on in. Booga and Peterbot, who were looking so good, they were literally taunting Acorn and Cole. They now go down. Booga on the defensive. Peterbot 2 on the offensive.
Wait a minute, was this a 2v1?
No.
Hide and seek?
No.
Just 2v1?
No.
Booga and Peterbot? You have to come out on top after that, right? You don't take down Booga and Peterbot in a 2v1.
specials, though, will give them that bit of extra lee room as they keep on making their way in. Walkers make some nice big brick rocks here for him to farm. Now he can cap off there as he keeps making his way on in. Very much on the lesser congested side of the zone, so not having to worry too much about players being around him. We'll probably have a bit of a free rotation getting in the meantime. Conti and Slam, another one of those teams, Jacob, very high up in the standings, who does stand a chance of, you know, bridging that gap between the top three.
But only 43 above. Some may not say it's much, but it's just enough to allow them to focus on the rotate, not have to force themselves into a weird spot just to get the shots. Just like Illis and Slash, they have the high ground. They have the perfect spot to get the surge, but they still have to rotate in towards zone. Meanwhile,